Hello, everybody. I'm Player5, and I'll be speedrunning Tears of the Kingdom, any percent pre-current patch. With me, I've got two commentators. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe. I speedrun Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
I'm abahbob. I speedrun Tears of the Kingdom 100%.
All right, so I'll get right into it. The voice language is set to French, which I believe won the bidding war. So I'll give a countdown for the timer. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Tears of the Kingdom starts off with an intro, like prologue section, which is normally pretty boring, just like running through the tunnels. You don't have much to work with, but on version 1.0, it's actually it starts off with the first trick of the run,
Yeah,
right at the very start.
It's not an easy trick either. It's pretty difficult right at the beginning. He has to basically climb out of bounds and skip a bunch of cutscene triggers from Zelda, because if you don't, you're stuck talking to Zelda, and we want to avoid that. So he's just trying to line up right now. So zoom in, try to line up Link hair with something on the wall there. And just like that, he's out. Very nice, very clean.
One thing that makes this exceptionally difficult is that these cutscene triggers go above and out of bounds. So you have to do a set of complex jumps or tricks to get around them.
So like you saw right there, you just chained a bunch of jump slashes in the air. The weird thing about this game is it lets you just chain jump slashes in the air to go a little further and further in the air. And using that, we can get around those cutscene triggers. We can get around a lot of stuff in this game with using that. We actually use that for a trick later on coming up.
Yeah, so any of this weird movement you see me doing, it's because there's a cutscene trigger that I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, he's not just running wildly in the darkness. There's a point.
And so yeah, it's like Zelda takes a long time looking at the ruins, and so by skipping that, we actually save like a minute. So it's one of the reasons 1.0 is actually faster.
Here's where the French comes in. I actually never heard this in French before.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so this is the upheaval cutscene, which is unskippable and takes around 4 minutes. So for Tears of the Kingdom speedruns, the beginning has quite a bit of dead time.
Who doesn't love a Zelda game with a long intros cutscene?
True.
It gives you a nice little break between runs.
You could say that. Right at the start.
And yeah, so the category I'm running is pre-current patch. So Tears of the Kingdom has received quite a few updates since release, and those updates will patch a lot of the glitches that get used for speedruns. The community voted to allow runs to be done on either current patch or pre-current patch, whichever you'd like. And so to avoid kind of the route changing because of glitches being patched, a lot of runners will run on like 1.0. It's also the fastest version of the game.
Yeah, quite differently than Breath of the Wild. As soon as this game came out, from like day one, glitches were being found very rapidly. And Nintendo has continually been patching pretty much all of the glitches that are found. So we are currently up to version 1.2.1. And the current patch is nearly glitchless. There are a few, but it is also a very interesting run in and of itself.
Yeah, the French voice acting is pretty good. I've never heard this. It's pretty. He has a spooky, little spooky tone.
Yeah, no, I think I've only ever speedrun this game in English.
Interestingly, for longer categories, English is actually the fastest dialogue language. But it was just found that for text, Russian is actually the fastest for any percent.
All right, so the rest of this cutscene doesn't have any voice, and it's pretty long, so we've got time for a couple donations.
Awesome. I have a few donations for you. We have $31.79 from Unfamiliar Cornball that says, thanks for providing fun entertainment and supporting able gamers. I really appreciate their goal of making the awesome experiences that games have to offer available and accessible to everyone. Games have had a huge positive impact in my life, and I'm glad to give so others can have the same opportunities. Game on.
Yeah.
We also have $25 from Shore that says, yeah, hup, yeah.
Very nice.
We also have $25 from VMister that says, last run, might as well get in a donation. Thank you to staff and runners for the late night entertainment here in Europe.
Yeah, get those donations in.
We also have a $5 donation from French Link that says, excuse me, moi, princess. We also did just get a $25 donation from Anonymous that says, Tears of the Kingdom hype, so excited for this run, and good luck to Player5.
Thank you.
And now it's time for Link to wake up again. For the second game now.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild also starts with Link waking up. All right, so back to gameplay. I will be picking up the Decayed Master Sword. Currently, that is not skippable.
So yeah, earlier I was talking about the jump slashes and how they're used in a trick later on. This trick is actually coming up right now. It's called Cog Skip, and we use it to skip this room with all the cogs coming up. Normally, you come here later on in GSI, but Great Sky Island. But with this new route, we actually found a way to skip using this jump slash onto a little ledge that's going to be coming up here.
It is a very precise jump, so I'll be trying to focus.
Yeah, he's got to set himself up right here.
Is it okay if I share some donations?
Very nice. Not too bad.
I go for it. I'll just be running for a little bit.
We got a $10 donation from Rebecca that says, let's go P5, don't forget posture check.
Oh, of course.
Ooh, posture check. We're not shrimps here.
But yeah, the reason this is so much faster is, well, one, we skipped this long cutscene to activate the gears and open the door in that first room. And it also gives us access to a chest up at the top here that has some wings.
And if you notice, he's actually getting his stamina back somehow. When in this game, when you chain like a crouch and taking out your weapon in a certain way, you can actually get your stamina a lot quicker than just waiting for it. So he does that to save a little bit more time overall.
Also right here, there's just a quick little dupe for getting some more Zonai devices. In earlier versions, whenever you try to sort and close your inventory at the same time, it just likes to duplicate things if they are unable to be taken out there.
And it's actually just on a single frame, or on a few frames on the menu. And the way they fixed it in a later version is you just can't input anything during those frames. It's technically still there.
So one other advantage of being able to get these wings early is this trick that's coming up right here, just to be able to get around using wings very, very quickly. This specific route relies very heavily on avoiding touching the ground, so there's a pretty precise set of movement coming up.
Yeah, pretty soon he's going to chain some of those jump slashes again, like I was talking about earlier, so that he avoids touching the ground. Because touching the ground is bad. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, so there's probably time for like one donation, if there are any.
We got a $10 donation from Styro that says, praying for first try clips and cog skips.
I mean, their try's still pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take their try. Okay, so right here, this is the jump slashing we were talking about. And the goal is to try and avoid touching the ground.
It's bad.
While getting the
lava.
pad from this construct.
The floor is
There's
lava.
A pretty precise setup.
So you notice he drops a
There we go.
wing Oh, very nice. He drops a wing because the wing is not the ground. It doesn't count as the ground. So we can actually, quote unquote, touch the ground by using a wing first.
So the main reason we're trying to avoid touching the ground is Link will respawn or reappear after falling at the last valid ground point that he was at. And so currently the last valid ground point was way up above before that cutscene near where the chest with the wings. And so we want to keep that for as long as we can.
Yeah, so right here, you can see Link is standing on the wing. And so you have to actually place the wing in a specific spot so that when you start talking to the construct, he will still be standing on it. The game likes to move things out of the way if they're like, I don't know, touching the construct or like too close to Link or whatever. And so it's pretty easy to mess up. I did manage to do this part of it, but yeah, this whole thing is called Early Ascend, and this is pretty recent kind of time save that people have come up with.
Yeah, before we used to just jump off the side here, spawn a wing like he's about to, and go right to Temple of Time.
Also, yeah, wings, you can see the kind of utility of them. They just make movement so much faster because you cut out a lot of running that would normally be pretty slow.
Super OP.
Yeah, this game has had a lot of variations in routes, specifically for Great Sky Island. There's a very active community of people that run Great Sky Island exclusively, and some of the insane routing stuff that they have come up with is absolutely wild. This route, I think, Player5, you've only been doing this one for about a week now, right?
Yeah, I came back from a trip, and I had to practice to get ready for this run. And yeah, I had like a week to learn it. But I did manage to get a world record with it, so
Gaming.
it does save quite a bit of time. Yeah, right here, I had to activate the shrines by getting this cutscene at the Temple of Time. The Great Sky Island has a lot of kind of backtracking. Like, it's got a specific order of things you have to do, and so that's one of them.
So you notice he's right back at the start where we first got the wings, because we didn't touch the ground that whole time, which is pretty insane.
One of the most difficult parts of Great Sky Island routing is just the verticality of it. So in order to get to the Ascend Shrine, it's actually significantly higher up than where a Temple of Time is. And so by being able to warp all the way back up here, it saves a ton of just running and backtracking where you can't just wing around because you have to get higher.
Becomes something real hard. He has to fall damage cancel right here by grabbing onto the side of the shrine. So let's see if he can do it. And Joe, that was clean. Very nice.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, that's stressful, man.
Yeah, so that's not the only way to do this, but basically we don't have any equipment, no paraglider, so to cancel fall damage right there, you can just grab the side of the wall. But yeah, with the geometry of the shrine, it's not very friendly, so you have to be pretty...
That's a real tough one, too.
Yeah. And it loses a lot if you die, so...
Yeah. So Ascend is pretty basic. We just go through it like normal. Nothing too fancy about this one.
Yeah, the shrine's on cycles anyways, so there's only so much time you can really save.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there are a few donations, that would be a good time.
Oh, yes. We have $25 from Grimion that says, quick donation for a quick event. When will we get an All Hudsons category?
All Hudsons. Get all the Hudsons.
We also have a $10 donation from April that says, good luck, P5.
Yo, thank you, April.
We also have a $25 donation from Beer that says, let's Goro.
Let's Goro indeed.
Yep, now we're just sprinting through the shrine. And I just want to talk about how good Ascend is as an ability. Like, such a good ability they added.
This construct right here has to have the highest KDA of any construct on this island. Thankfully for this route, we have 2 hearts, but it has killed many, many runs.
Yeah, you run a little wrong, he snipes you.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's unavoidable. But yeah, this is the platform that makes it so we can't really save time in this shrine. It's on a cycle, and you have to wait for it anyway.
We love cycles in a speed run.
right, so that is the first shrine done. In Breath of the Wild, when you finish a shrine, there's actually a thing where you want to wait to skip this first cutscene to get a faster load out of the shrine. In Tears of the Kingdom, you don't have to worry about that. It's fastest to just skip immediately. But in this shrine specifically, because it's the first one we complete, you get to watch the full cutscene. It's unskippable.
Whoa. But there are weird loading differences in this game too. There are going to be weird quirks later on you'll notice I'm doing just to save a little more time to a load too.
Yeah.
So it has its own weird loading tricks.
Especially version 1.0, it just has a lot of weird quirks.
Yeah, it's also laggier than every other version.
They didn't add dynamic resolution scaling until the version 1.1.
Yeah. So like earlier, the Switch was chugging when you were looking at all of GSI when he was in the sky.
All right, so that is the first shrine done. The order of the things we have to do is, activate the shrines by visiting Temple of Time, and then complete the 3 shrines to get the abilities. Go back to the Temple of Time before the 4th shrine is activated. So right here, I will be making my way to the 2nd shrine, which is actually Fuse. And the reason we go to Ascend first is partially because it is just so much higher up. And so that allows for some really quick movement with wings to get to the next one.
So he's going to want to run into this cave and grab a bomb real fast and that shield. Because a lot of stuff we do on GSI requires these 2 things, and this is the closest.
All right, so we get some good luck with amiibos, which, wow.
Wow, first try? Okay.
First try 2 Fleet Lotus Seeds.
Thank you.
Yeah, amiibos are actually allowed for speedruns of this game. There is a no amiibo category, though, if you...
Don't want the McDonald's toys.
Yeah. And so we're looking for that Fleet Lotus Seed because it can be used in... did I? No, I didn't.
So right here, you notice that he's doing some shield flips on his wing. He's trying to actually dupe these items really fast by doing what he was doing earlier with the wings. It's just with an item this time. And the reason why he's doing it on a wing is because what else is there to do? So might as well save a little time duping a little bit more.
Yeah, and so the Fleet Lotus Seeds are essentially the best way of getting speed food. So just putting 5 Fleet Lotus Seeds into a cooking pot will give speed 3 that lasts 5 minutes. And the other alternative would be to use like hot-footed frogs and choo-choo jelly, but both of those are quite a bit out of the way for this route.
Yeah, in all the routes we used to grab the frogs and just the jelly to make the speed. But now we use amiibo. So here he's just gonna grab a ruby real quick because it's gonna be later, very important later on. This is basically his main source of damage through a good part of the run.
And that one is a guaranteed ruby. So, wait. Just dupe a couple extra bombs and rubies for later. And one of the reasons we go by this cave is, one, the guaranteed ruby, which will be very important. But then also, you'll notice I actually picked up the battery from that construct. And that's because if you get given a battery before entering, so the game will auto give you the battery if you haven't picked it up before completing Fuse. But that cutscene to receive it from the construct is significantly. I just gotta wait. Was that a crit? But yeah, it's significantly longer if you get it from the construct after the shrine. So we pick it up on the way.
And now we're going super fast with the speed food. And he's still doing that stamina thing to get the stamina back. Just to save a little bit more time.
Yeah, speed food is really useful, both in terms of just running faster, but also because your speed directly affects the distance that you jump. And so that'll be quite useful just for inside of shrines, as well as just general movement for getting around.
Yeah, there's going to be the Ultra Hand Shrine coming up that's useful for that, especially.
All right, so at the beginning of the shrines, you have a long cutscene to get the ability. So if there are some donations.
Yes, and I also want to update everyone say we have raised a total of $34,815.
Very nice.
We're only $185 away from $35,000, and I think we can make that happen.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe.
Yes.
We have a $23.42 donation from Minduino that says, "Good luck, Player5. Let's go."
Let's go, roll.
A 2342.
We also have a $25 donation from MZ that says, "Shout outs to Raru for always giving us a hand when we need it. Good luck, P5, and I hope everyone is having an amazing time in Vegas."
Good one, MZ.
Thank you, MZ. All right, so this is the Fuse Shrine. Fuse is a very useful ability. It allows us to fuse items to our weapons, shields, and arrows.
Let's see if you can hit this snipe, though. I'm going to snipe this chest right out of the air and not.
And we got it.
Very clean.
Yeah, so shooting that with a bomb arrow launches it towards Link, which is a little faster than running over to it and picking it up.
So now you notice if you use the bomb to shield, there's actually a little bit of movement you can do in this shrine to save a little bit more time. He's going to use this bomb shield to probably jump right up here. Ooh.
I messed it up. Well,
I guess it's
at
ladder
least-
time.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That only saves a little bit of time over climbing on the ladder, but
I guess a fun little fact is that on version 1.0, climbing ladders was noticeably slower. It's not like, you know, a huge time difference, but when you try to climb a ladder on 1.0, you can like feel it. It feels just tad.
Yeah.
sluggish.
I know climbing out of like lookout landing out of that big ladder is very painful.
Yeah. This game's crazy.
1.0 was almost a finished product.
All right, so that's 2 shrines down, 1 more to go. The last one is Ultra Hand, which is located right next to the Temple of Time.
Also, this next part coming up could be a little hard. He's actually going to use a bomb jump right here just to gain a little bit more height, because you can actually spawn a wing midair and he's going to jump right on top of it just to go right back over this lake. And what's interesting is you might think he's going to go up and run all the way over to Ultra Hand. No, he's actually just going to go under GSI.
I'm actually going to
Smart.
just dupe one for safety.
Duping bombs on 1.0 is also pretty scary. You'll notice that like you're not duping like 5 bombs at a time, because on 1.0 they like to explode just as soon as they touch the ground.
Yeah, they do that to me a lot.
I am so sorry to interrupt, but I want to let you all know we just raised $35,000 for Able.
Oh, nice. And just like what I was saying earlier, he's under GSI, but he's still trying to get a little bit more height, because what he wants to do is he kind of wants to use the ascend ability to go right under Ultra Hand to go right up to it. And this could be pretty difficult if you miss time any of those bomb jumps, but you got it easily. Very nice. So yeah, this is where the speed fruit comes in. That's where it's very useful in this shrine.
All right, and I also fused a wing to my shield before entering the shrine, because the wing shield gives you a little bit more distance on your shield jumps, and so that will also help with clearing the Ultra Hand shrine very quickly. So yeah, there's another long cutscene if there are any donations.
Oh yes, I definitely have some for you. We have $25 from Ollie Brown that says, "Donating for my fave runner, P5. Good luck on the run. May the Lizalfos accept your rubies without complaints."
Thank you.
We also have a $50 donation from It's Ultimate that says, "Let's go, P5." We also have a $25 donation from Storm that says, "Had to donate for one of the best LOZ games."
That's pretty good.
It is a great game.
I like Raru. You can't hear. He like mumbles, makes these noises, and those are different in French because he has a different voice actor.
So my favorite thing coming up is when Zelda takes a little page from Sonic. We start rail grinding, and we just can skip that little part and get right to the end. Just a cheeky little rail grind.
Yeah, the Ultra Hand Shrine completed without using Ultra Hand.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, I do love how in this route it's essentially doing these shrines the opposite of most casual ways, and just how useful all of the abilities from using Ascend to get up to Ultra Hand earlier, using Fuse to make Ultra Hand faster is very, very fun.
And you might be wondering, like, why don't you just go right to the end of Temple of Time, right? Like, you can go right to if you think you can go right to the Master Sword cutscene and just, go right to Hyrule. No, they thought of that. So the Master Sword cutscene at the end of Temple of Time isn't actually there until you open the door, the second door to Temple of Time. So we're basically forced to go through this every time, and it's also nice to get the abilities along the way. Just like the discussion about Breath of the Wild, is it possible to skip Great Plateau? No, and it's not possible to skip GSI, most likely.
We have a few more leads in this game, thankfully, but it's still quite a bit of science away.
Yeah, maybe in the distant future,
The best I could see is maybe skipping Recall, but even Recall is very useful in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it's still really good.
And this game is honestly very new, right? It's like 5 months.
Yeah, it's crazy how many glitches were found in these 5 months.
Like, yeah, there's a giant glitch spreadsheet, which has like probably over 100 different lines at this point.
For comparison, it took years until Breath of the Wild was basically fully broken open. And now we just got this just cracked wide open in a few months.
All right, so I just got the recall ability, so now I can go back to I'll be able to go back to the recall shrine and complete that. It's the one we passed by at the beginning. It wasn't active at that point, and it's not active until you try to open this door at the end of the Temple of Time. So I'll be making my way over there.
Love those Raru mumbles.
And it's interesting that it is different.
He does sound different. It's not the same mumbles I'm used to. They got the French voice actors of mumble.
All right, so this door doesn't require any actual attempt at opening it, and we don't have enough hearts, so it's faster to just give up immediately.
Yeah, just give up. Surrender.
And then with that, Raru will update the Pro Pad to give us the ability to warp. Because before this point, we couldn't warp. And so that's another slight restriction on the routing of the Great Sky Island.
Yeah, you always gotta do stasis last. There's no other way.
Yeah, and so right there, I did not open the map immediately. It was really quick, so you might not have seen it, but the first time you open the map, there is a small cutscene of Link taking out I was about to say Sheikah Slate, the Pro Pad. So yeah, by opening the inventory first, we can skip that small cutscene.
I think the terms are interchangeable.
Wii U versus Switch, same thing.
Yeah, right. So yeah, you can actually just avoid the cogs by just ascending in that one spot. You don't actually have to activate them and go through that whole stuff. Ascend is an OP ability. I was saying earlier, it's such a good ability.
Just ascend at the beginning.
Exactly.
After watching a bunch of Tears of the Kingdom and trying to watch any other game, I was like, why aren't you just ascending to get up there?
Yeah, right.
It's really frustrating.
Just go through the wall.
Walls kind of exist in this game.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see later, right?
This shrine is also on a cycle, but this one is much tighter. Although there is, I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
Don't worry about that part. Haven't seen that.
To make it to the end. And normally it's on a cycle because there's these clock hands at the end that you have to wait for, except you don't.
Yeah, you can just force it open.
You can stick the hands together with Ultra Hand to make it a little bit quicker.
That's at one point, Ultra Hand's useful.
So outside of all of the actual hard triggers that you're trying to meet, you need to complete these 4 shrines on Great Sky Island in order to get the 4 Blessings of Light, so that you're able to receive a new heart to open the door. In theory, there's been discussions about if you were able to somehow smuggle the hearts out of the intro, you would be able to open that door a bit earlier and maybe be able to skip recall. But sadly, no, we have to do it this way for now.
So you notice he actually walked out of the Room of Awakening, and how I was saying earlier about those weird loading things is actually fast. The load is actually faster if you just walk out and warp back to Ultra Hand instead of immediately warping back. So like I said, this game has its own weird loading quirks over Breath of the Wild.
All right, so I'll be making my way back to the door. So if there are some donations, that would be a good time.
Actually, we just got a $25 donation from Dark Sakura that says, little second donation to congratulate y'all on Zoraing high over the goal.
Hey,
Okay, the puns
Zelda
are
pun.
coming in. Yeah.
We also got a $25 donation from Aqua Cluck that says, good luck, dude.
hey, thank you, Aqua.
Thanks, dude.
We also got another $25 donation from Dabum that says, as always, thank you for the entertaining runs.
All right, so here's where we turn in the Light of Blessing. Get that fourth heart, and we can finally open this door and make it to the end. Which, you know, obviously this door, like, you can climb around it pretty easily, but there's nothing there if
Yeah. You actually have to open it first
yeah.
to spawn the cutscene trigger.
So yeah, actually the comparisons to the Breath of the Wild Great Plateau, if you try to leave this island early, you will just void out. There's a giant, basically if you just get far enough away from the island, Link will just fall and then teleport back. So that trigger disappears after you open this door and then collect or turn in the Decayed Master Sword at the end of the island. And that's whenever the true open world experience of the game actually opens up.
Yeah, GSI is really big for an intro. I don't know how much bigger than Plateau it is, but it feels a lot bigger.
At least casually, it did feel like it had more content though than Plateau.
Yeah,
Plateau
yeah,
just
for
felt
sure.
like buffer distance.
Yeah.
There's actually one benefit of the speed food there is being able to just sprint and drop the wing and jump directly onto it.
Yeah, if you notice, he's been dropping wings like crazy. It's actually because of the speed food. And if you hop off a ledge, you can also do a shield jump and drop a wing, jump onto it immediately.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different methods to get onto a wing,
So he's about to do a different method right about now.
and they all have their different, like, benefits, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, he's going to do what he was doing earlier and dupe some stuff for the fights coming up. Before, when the game first launched, there's a boss rush. If you were to just skip all the dungeons and go to the end, the game forces you to fight all those bosses that you should have fought in those dungeons. But because we have found so much glitches, we actually don't even fight those bosses anymore. So we just have to worry about Army and then Ganondorf. So right now, we're just duping a bunch of rubies to be able to comfortably destroy the army.
And I'll do a couple more just for safety.
And so as soon as the world is opened up, we're doing just like Breath of the Wild, is going straight to the final boss. Although you'll notice we're going a slightly different path. We're not going directly to Hyrule Castle because we have a couple of tricks up our sleeves to get there a little bit quicker.
Oh yeah, and also I'm not going to Lookout Landing, which is normally where the game points you to go to get the paraglider, which is a very important item in this game, but it's completely optional for an any percent speedrun.
There's actually, the paraglider is completely optional. You can do about 99% of this whole game without ever needing to get the paraglider. There's one thing though, the Spirit Temple, you can't go to the Spirit Temple without the glider because you can't open the door unless you trigger the glider cutscene, which is such a weird thing. Out of everything in the game, why is that the one thing that's limited, you know?
Okay, so yeah, I just did a fall damage cancel, which is a glitch that can be used to cancel fall damage anywhere. And
He's also,
gonna go very quickly.
you want to explain this one, Bob?
Oh, oops.
There's quite a few parts to this. So essentially, we're doing a infinite jump. So by swapping from having a shield equipped to no longer having it equipped, you gain a little bit of height. And so you're able to gain just enough height to slightly clip Link through the ceiling, and then just getting onto a shield clips you right through.
And coming up is another clip, funny enough, is the ragdoll clip.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, we love this one. This one is, I don't know if is it random? Is it like, I can't tell.
It's precise enough to where
It's basically random.
yeah.
Yeah, there's an
Roll the
element
dice.
of like randomness.
Random asterisk, you know?
Yeah.
So basically what he's going to want to do is he's going to want to smack Link's face against the wall to go into a ragdoll state to try to clip back in bounds. Because right now, we're actually out of bounds. Like, this is Hyrule Castle in the depths, all of it. And he wants to get back in bounds because you can't get the army when you're out of bounds.
He is falling from pretty high up, though. So first we'll need to do a fall damage cancel just to make sure that he doesn't die from hitting the ground.
Right. Here it comes.
There we are. And yeah.
There it is. Let's go.
Yeah, walls are two-sided, so I have to clip back in bounds, which is different from some games.
The cheeky little fall damage cancel, we're now in Army. And this part can be a little stressful, but the thing about this game is Army has a set spawn, basically. Every bokoblin, every monster you see always spawns in the same place. There's always the same amount of them. So he generally knows where to throw these rubies. And if you notice, he's actually using stasis every now and then. Bob, you want to explain this part?
I mean, yeah, it's essentially by using recall there, it just really quickly does an animation cancel, which lets you throw the rubies faster.
Yeah, so he's just chucking rubies like crazy. He wanted to pick up the boss bokoblin horn there, but he missed out and got the tooth instead. So he might need to make up for that right now.
One of the things that makes this extra scary is that, like, some of the older routes we'd get fairies, and, you know, whenever you're able to duplicate fairies, then this is no longer a concern. But by throwing rubies like this, the elemental damage from rubies actually bypasses the game's built-in one-shot protection. So even if you are at full health here, getting hit by a single one of your rubies will kill you. And throughout this entire army fight, there are no saves. You're not able to do any manual saves. So a death here makes you have to restart the entire army fight.
Yep, right back to the beginning. So if you notice, he's trying to pick up a bunch of materials on the way because, you know, Link is kind of bare bones right now. All we have is rubies to our name. So we want to pick up some weapons and materials because the big guy is coming up soon, and we need something to fight him with.
Yeah, so luckily they give us a lot, and royal weapons are really nice. Different types of weapons in this game have different like attributes, different set bonuses, and so I pick up 2 royal halberds as well as a couple of extra fuse materials that have high power.
And that's Army. That's it. Barely got to hear the song. You're too fast. The song is awesome.
Thankfully, we get a great song coming up right here.
Yeah,
we get to hear a good amount of this.
Yeah, we love Colgera. Where are you going?
I'm hiding. Colgera is scary.
Okay, that's fair.
I thought this was boss rush time.
No thanks.
So yeah, he's actually just gonna skip boss rush. We don't need to fight Colgera. He's lame.
Walls and ceilings are merely suggestions in this game.
Exactly. And like that, he's in. No more boss rush. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so basically, the reason we can't do this early, like do this clip during army, is because the game has a flag to check for whether or not you've completed the army, but that doesn't exist for the like bosses from the temples. And so right here, I can just, like, it'll not spawn in Ganondorf. If I can just hit this. This one is a pretty tricky clip. It requires you to like have a pretty precise. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I just took damage.
Yeah, you got tapped.
So that'll be fun for later.
You'll be fine. You got this.
Yeah, I did mention one-shot protection. Having Gloom does bypass that as well.
So if you notice, he's going to be doing a bunch of menu shenanigans. What he's actually doing is that he's going to be overlaying weapons on top of themselves to make a super weapon to completely obliterate Ganondorf in one cycle. Almost.
This is definitely one of the reasons why 1.0 is fastest, is because by this glitch, it does work on other versions. However, on Ganondorf, it only works the best on version 1.0.
Yeah, good old 1.0 and its weird quirks. It's one of them.
Man, I love the Ganondorf music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we still got, and with this giant weapon, one cycled Ganondorf. Oh, there's 2 more phases.
There's 2 more phases.
He still has a chance, okay? You don't give him enough credit.
Oh no.
Hey.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
The game can lag pretty significantly, and right there, you saw it right before he jumped.
So the thing with this cutscene, it's pretty weird. A lot of people in the past thought it was random if you could skip it or not, but you can only skip it if you watch it once. So it is skippable, but not in this run.
You have to have watched it once without, like, resetting the game, right?
Yeah, it has to be, you have to watch it within the save. All right, the 1v1. Hopefully you can do this, P5.
I've put in a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I might be able to
This guy's tough.
pull it off.
I really do like this music, though.
Yeah. The Golgera music, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is kind of funny. It is a little random whether or not you get the Demon King Ganondorf like health bar or the Golgera health bar.
Very nice. And that's Ganondorf. He's gone. Bye. But now here comes one of the hardest parts of the run. Kills many records. So
It does, yeah.
it's very tough. But
This fight, I mean, you're normally supposed to have the paraglider for this fight,
right. But we don't need that.
No, we don't. Of course not.
Why would we need a paraglider?
That involves cutscenes and dialogue.
It takes too long. So
It's convenient.
It's a suggestion.
But yeah, right before we get into it, there is a lot of cutscenes. So if there are any donations, that would be a good time.
Oh, yes. We have a $25 donation from Acid Burn that says, "Good job, P5. Good luck with the rest of the run."
Thank you.
We also have a $50 donation from Draco Banana that says, "Secret prizes. Take my money for this awesome cause." We also have a $25 donation from Fango that says, "There's always a secret prize right after my last donation."
oh, you got this one in now.
We also have a $50 donation from Kale and Smith that says, "Love you, Player5. Why does Ganondorf hate the internet? There are too many links."
True.
That's a good one.
I love the puns. Keep them up.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, honestly. So if you notice, because we made that ultimate weapon, it's in the cutscene still. It's actually not gone.
It's permanently super glued to Link's hand.
Yes, so we're gonna want to get rid of that. Otherwise, it will ruin something coming up. And if you didn't know, if you skip the Master Sword, this suspicious dragon just gives it to you right away. So
Don't know who it is.
I wonder who it is. Blonde hair. Maybe Link 2, the sequel.
Zelda 2?
Zelda 2?
Shout out to the Zelda 2 run.
Yeah, good
from
one.
earlier. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna be going for what's called 2-cycle Demon Dragon. It's very difficult. So right here, I drop off as soon as possible, and then I do the jump slashes
The famous jump slashes.
to try and get above this weak point.
So there's all the weapons we had in our single hand, and they're gone.
Okay, I think we're probably fine.
Yeah. So this is This is very tight. He basically wants to take out 2 of these pimples as fast as possible before Ganondorf or Demon Dragon goes away. So if he can successfully, yep, he's got it. So that's the first part down. The second part is arguably harder, I think. It could be a little bit more finicky, and so.
And yeah, it's really important that you do everything as fast as possible because we don't have the paraglider, so like you can't really change where you are going like that well.
So
you have to like really be right above. Oh, that's awkward. I just kind of missed. Yeah, that probably messed it up. The cycle is really tight, so I'll be able to get to this one, I think, before Demon Dragon moves, but I won't be able to do this like last section of it. That's a little bit faster.
As soon as the Demon Dragon starts glowing like that bright red all over, you will just get knocked away and take some damage.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a pretty cool little section that I will not be able to show off. Okay.
Whoa, what the heck is Zelda? What?
Yep.
That happened in practice earlier, too.
A
What?
classic GDQ. Have not seen that one very often.
Yeah, that's a new one. We like this fight. It's just random.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I was a little bit too slow on defeating the 4th weak point, and so you can see the dragon is moving its head a lot, so I can't really land on the head to hit the secret stone, which would end the fight. So I have to wait,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
This is the run killer right here, right at the end.
It's really frustrating because essentially the Demon Dragon like lifts its head up and starts spewing out all of the fireballs. And in order to actually be able to land. You have to fall right in the right area, and then it'll close its mouth and stop moving. And if the timing is off just by a little bit, it can really ignore you.
So you want to explain this little jump sling you're about to do?
I'm trying to, wait. Okay, I missed it.
Okay.
But basically, this final hit, if you're like standing on the demon dragon's head, during that final hit, you will get this right here. This is an 8-second like black screen that happens. It kind of messes up the music as well. And so if you're in the air when you get that final hit, you don't get that. So it's, you know, slightly faster.
By the way, time is not happening any. Like we have to wait till we grab Zelda later. So
yeah, the final input is holding A to catch Zelda, and so time will end when Link grabs Zelda's hand, which is coming up pretty soon.
It's a very nice cinematic ending, though.
yeah, it was very emotional.
The first few times.
Yeah, the first few times after the hundreds now. It's still emotional for me. I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, you might wonder what happens if you just don't grab her, right? What if you just fall to the floor? Well, that doesn't happen. You're just falling infinitely. It'll stop you at some point.
It looks very odd because you just notice that there's no parallax, there's no background moving around you.
Yeah.
Speaking of cinematic endings, 100% actually ends on getting, or the route I've been doing ends on getting the final tier, which is a very wonderful emotional ending.
That one is very sad.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it'll be coming up pretty soon.
And
Time.
let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, that was a pretty good run.
What was the time?
The time is 45 minutes and 51 seconds.
That's not
45,
bad.
51, that's really good,
pretty
yeah.
good.
And as soon as the time hit, we hit $35,500 for Able Gamers.
Hey,
let's go.
Nice.
So yeah, that was Tears of the Kingdom any percent pre-current patch. Thank you all for watching. It was a lot of fun to do this run. I've done a run on GDQ before, and so I wanted to do it again. And Tears of the Kingdom is a really fun game, so I'm glad I was able to show that off. So thank you to GDQ, of course, for having me. Shout outs to the Tears of the Kingdom Speedrunning community. It's a really nice place, very welcoming. So if you want to give it a try, if this looked interesting, then join the Speedrunning Discord. There's a lot of helpful people in there.
There are definitely quite a few categories that are of all varying lengths. So this category, you know, is under an hour. There's also categories that are around 4 hours, 8 hours, or even 30 hours. So whatever is your taste, the Tears of the Kingdom Speedrunning community will have it for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, Player5, for letting me be on stage with you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you guys both for helping me commentate. Yeah, this run has some tricky bits, so always appreciate the support.
So, I'm joedun again. I do Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm abahbob again. I've been doing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom 100% runs.
And yeah, this is Player5, you don't know.
Yeah.
World record holder.
He's speedy.
Yeah, I stream Tears of the Kingdom speedruns on Twitch if you want to check that out. And yeah, with that, I'll throw it back to the host.
Thank you so much. My name is Ash Said Hi. Thank you so much to Games Done Quick Express for having me host my very first ever Games Done Quick event. So thank you for having me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We're going to send it to Worm and Able Gamers. Take it away and have a good night.
And that's time for Games Done Quick Express 2023, live from TwitchCon at the Las Vegas Convention Center. My name is Worm, also known as Jason Dang. I'm the Director of Technology here at Games Done Quick. And I'm joined here by representatives from Able Gamers.
Yeah, my name is Maggie, and I am the event coordinator for Able Gamers.
And I'm Vinny. I do community and marketing for Able Gamers.
Great. Throughout the weekend, we raised over $35,525 for the Able Gamers Foundation. Thanks to everyone online and then everyone here at TwitchCon. Thank you very much.
Woo!
So, yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about where the money has gone for Able Gamers, and then we'll wrap the show up.
Sounds good. So I would say the majority of money that gets donated to our cause kind of goes directly back to the players. We have a peer counseling process that people go through, and then we have grant processes in place that they can sign up for. And then if they can't afford the equipment that we decide between both of us that works for them, then we can grant that equipment to them. So that's a huge part of what we do. And then we also send equipment out to hospitals all around the nation as well. So that's a large part of where our donations would go for this.
Great, thank you. And yeah, I appreciate the Able Gamers Foundation for partnering with us. Let me get through a few more thank yous. So thank you everyone watching at home and here in the crowd, as well as our incredible runners, hosts, commentators, along with the production team backstage. I also want to thank Twitch for hosting us here at TwitchCon, along with a special thank you to the event engineering team here at Twitch for their dedicated support throughout the year. Games Done Quick will be back January 14th to the 21st for AGDQ 2024 live in Pittsburgh. The games list is out. The schedule will be on the page momentarily. We hope to see you there. And credits!